It's on! Hello, everybody. Welcome to the June 14th edition of Disney Parks Talk Live, the show in which we go over the week in Disney and other theme park news around the country and indeed around the entire great big blue marble on which we live. My name is Doobie. I am your co-host today. My lovely wife, Rebecca, is not here today, so I don't know. I'll just leave it at that. I was going to say, I don't know how good it would be, how bad it'll be, but either I'm insulting her or I'm insulting you, so I just thought I would just leave it right there. I know trivia was a lot of fun without her, but it was because my mom was there, and my mom is not there today, not here today. So anyway, over there is the man in charge of Star Wars and SoCal theme parks for Laughing Place, Mike Celestino.
That is the proper Italian pronunciation.
Is it really?
Celestino, yes.
Oh, I'm going to start using that. Celestino. And down there, the man in charge of East Coast theme parks, trips to Seattle, and driving in the rain, Jeremiah Goot.
Hello. That's not the proper way it's said. It's good. Unless you're in, Mexico, then it's bueno.
Jeremiah bien. Très bien. Just a reminder, we're live here with East Coast and West Coast experts. If you have any questions about the myriad of things going on, no, do not start flashing gang signs, please, Jeremiah. Please. Jeremiah. Peace is okay. Please put them in the comments. We'll do our best to answer. Take advantage of the fact that we're live. All right, so I think the big news is actually pretty huge news, if I'm not mistaken. So a while ago, Disney World announced that come tomorrow, June 15th, they're going to dispense with almost all of this COVID stuff. There are no more masks if you're vaccinated, no more social distancing, and almost life is normal. And I'm a little bit surprised, but today Disneyland made the exact same announcement. So come tomorrow, you can go to Disneyland without a mask if you're vaccinated, and we'll talk a little bit about what that means exactly in a moment. But if you're vaccinated, you can officially go without a mask. It seems like about the only place you will need a mask is if you're on the bus from the newly opened Toy Story parking lot. So, wow, are you excited to get to the park and let everybody see your pretty face, Mr. Celestino?
I am excited. I'm also surprised, as you said, and I'm also jealous of our Mike Mack, who's going to be there before I am in this post-COVID period.
Really? So you weren't able to get in there tomorrow to see what this is like firsthand, huh?
No, not going tomorrow, but hopefully soon.
And that is one thing that absolutely has not changed. Reservations still required. Still no annual passes. Still no announcement of how this membership program will eventually work. So if Mr. Celestino wants to go to the park, he's got to fork over about 3,000 lira, just like anybody else. So.
Yeah, I said post-COVID period, but really we're still seeing a lot of the after effects of that with the reservations and all. So
yeah, it's definitely not totally. When we can just go to the park without giving a thought, then life is normal. And when Mike has a membership program instead of having to shell out the lira, then life is really back to normal. But that hasn't. Are they still using the lira in Italy, by the way, Mr. Celestino?
Well, there would be on the euro now.
They've converted to the euro.
I'm not sure if the lira is then also still around or how that works.
I think once the euro comes, the lira goes away. But we'll ask Edith down under next time we talk to her.
Wait, are we getting the lira here or the euro here?
Well, we still use the good old American dollar here.
Oh.
Greenbacks. All right. So what exactly are they doing? You have to let's read exactly what it says to make it clear. So if you are vaccinated, face coverings will what?
I think Mike's looking for lira.
I was looking for a euro. I know I have a euro around here. I was trying to see if I could find one.
I don't even know what
I have a euro back there somewhere.
I don't even know what a euro looks like. Can one of you grab one?
Yeah, if I find one, I'll show it.
Mine would be harder to find.
Okay. Yeah, I've never been to Europe since the last time I was in Europe. I was using the franc, which was really confusing to them because I was in Germany. But
that poor guy was just tired of trying to climb into your pocket.
Oh, wait. So Danielle says her cousin used it 3 years ago when he ran a marathon in Greece. Used what? the euro or the lira? All right,
This
so
is
here is
€1.
here is my. They don't use money; they use coins.
I think they have used both, but this is
Yeah.
one of the options.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm on Wikipedia looking up Italy, so you continue reading about what the mask is while we talk about the importance of denominations in Italy.
Starting June 15th, face coverings will no longer be required for fully vaccinated guests, both indoors and outdoors. Guests aged 2 and up who are not fully vaccinated must continue wearing face coverings indoors except when dining. What does must mean? Well, let me continue reading. While guests will not be required to show proof of vaccination, vaccinated guests will self-attest that they are in compliance prior to entry. In addition, all guests will need to attest that they are aware of the state of California's strong recommendation that guests be fully vaccinated or receive a negative COVID test prior to entering the theme parks when making their Disneyland Resort theme park reservation. So that is how it reads on paper. How it actually is implemented in action remains to be seen. I know, Jeremiah, you have experience in Florida where I believe there are already some theme parks which have this rule, right, or no?
Universal and SeaWorld are both under that exact policy where, and I know I've seen a lot of comments on our tweets and our Instagram when we've talked about this, and they're like, oh, what if people still wear their mask? I mean, it is, the people, not to get too deep, but the people that are concerned about it will wear their mask. The people that aren't won't wear their mask either way. But I have still seen guests wearing masks, and I've, socially distanced. That one, it got a little iffy. Universal, the queues are just like they used to be, where it's. And I did hear that the announcements have been being made at the Magic Kingdom and other parks of, please fill in all available space, which is the thing that I don't want to hear the most. But
At some
it's
point,
exciting that the world is back. We'll just have to see how long. Everything I've seen is the euro is the currency used in Italy.
however, Danielle has clarified that when her cousin was in Greece for a marathon, they used a lira, which I thought was Italian. So is it also? I thought the Greek used urns. Isn't that what Hercules says? Tell you what a Grecian urn.
This is the time where Rebecca would be yelling at us nonstop.
I think the Greeks use euros.
Celestino wins.
So the lira was used in Italy between 1861 and 2002. That's a pretty long run for money there.
The only reason I know the lira is because of when I Love Lucy went to Italy, and they talked about the currency.
Didn't they have to go to AAA here to exchange? Didn't they actually use the Automobile Club of America?
In I Love Lucy?
I want to say they went someplace. No, I think it was the American Express or something. Like, look this up.
Or we could do our show.
Do you remember there was like a run of I Love Lucy where they stayed in LA for a little while, and
I do.
Every episode had a celebrity guest star.
I remember when they met John Wayne and Lucy was involved, something with the handprints in front of the Grauman's Theater.
They were loose, and then they pried them up, and then they broke them, and then John Wayne made like 20 of them to give to them because she kept breaking the ones that he would do. I'm a Lucy fanatic.
Are you really? That show is good but overrated.
Yes, you like the Godzilla of.
But Lucy has been a character in Universal Parks very recently, at least. So,
very true.
I think it counts as a parks discussion.
Didn't she? Can people tell the difference between her and Betty Boop?
Yes. Right here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, yes, the attesting that you are aware of all of the rules are when you make the reservation. My question for you, Jeremiah, having experience at Universal and SeaWorld, which have these rules.
Yeah.
Now, I know they're not going around saying, hey, are you vaccinated? Put your mask on. They're not asking for any actual proof. However, if you are a 5-year-old running around, you can't be vaccinated at this point. Are they asking children to wear masks? No.
No, it is, before this, the kids the younger ones, you know, it was 2 and under, but they wouldn't really enforce it overly in the theme parks if, you know, the kids were in a stroller or younger. But now I think they're mostly more excited because Universal and Busch Gardens now can not only, the guests don't have to wear the mask, but cast members and whatever they're called, the Busch Gardens ambassadors don't have to wear masks if they present proof that they were fully vaccinated.
That's good. I'm looking forward to that. Because, I mean, it'll be great not to have to wear a mask. It'll feel very normal, but you're just seeing them all over with cast members. Once only a small percentage of cast members are and a small percentage of guests are, then, yeah. In my opinion, I'm looking forward to these things. And then June 18th, of course, and as Danielle points out, cast members, as of right now, will still be wearing them in Florida, will still be wearing them in Disneyland. I'm certain it's just a matter of time before that changes as well. On June 18th, which is Friday, Toy Story parking lot opens. Mike, if you want to go cover that, you know, you don't actually need a park or reservation to cover the opening of a parking lot.
But you do have to pay for parking.
Which is nearly as much as entering a park.
Actually, I wouldn't. If I could just walk in there if it operates the same way it used to, if I park off site.
So, Mr. Bob Newell says, what about counterfeit vaccine certificates? There is no requirement to show a vaccine certificate. So if you want to get a counterfeit when you may, it'll never be asked for.
Unless you went to Universal their first day and I had to provide a photo of mine, my real one, not counterfeit.
And as we said, the physical distance requirements will be now self-determined. That is the words that they use, self-determined. Mike, it's coming to an end. We just have to, what I feel like, and this is where Rebecca probably would say, Doobie, shut up, is what I feel like is they want to go normal. They know they can't do it overnight because people will freak. So they're just kind of slowly letting people do it at the pace that they're comfortable with. Yes, Gideon. Goodness. Yes, Jeremiah.
The term is slowly. Florida's been open for almost a year. Like we barely got any social distancing. The mask kind of started going. For California, and this would be where Rebecca would really tell me to shut up. According to the governor of California, tomorrow COVID no longer exists.
No, not true.
I know, but
I wish that were the case. That is not the case. But we're not going to go into that.
Yeah.
Yes, as someone in a workplace who is still going to be required to mask, I can tell you that is definitely not the case. Anyway, let's continue. Mike Mack, by the way, just now getting to tune in. Who allowed you through on a live stream without Rebecca's supervision? We will learn to come to regret this moment, I guarantee you.
Hey, Mac, do you use the euro or the lira more when you go to Europe?
Now, he went to Europe, right? He talked about his time in Scotland, but I don't think they adopted, Ireland, but I don't think they adopted the euro. They're still on the pound? Is all of the United Kingdom on the pound or just England? Anyway, by the way, also June 15th, tomorrow, out-of-state guests will be allowed in the park, which is why the aforementioned Michael Mack will be in the park on Marvel Day, June 16th. Looking forward to that in 2 days. Tammy B thinks Callie is transitioning way too fast. You are not the only one with that opinion. Also, a lot of people don't have the opinion. I am of the opinion Callie is transitioning way too slow. But
wait, Danielle says they use the yen in Ireland.
There is no way they use the yen. Oh, that's an LOL. Do you know what LOL means in...
No, isn't that Ireland? Isn't that what the abbreviation of Ireland is?
What do they use in Ireland, though? Can someone, not you, Jeremiah, but maybe Danielle or Tammy or Matt can do the research on the currency in Ireland right now?
But
I've been to Ireland and I don't remember what the name of the currency is.
I do appreciate Danielle talking to us on Twitch and on Facebook now. So if you can get over to YouTube and do that, she gets a trifecta.
Doesn't Ireland use the Blarney? Is that not correct?
You know, a good point about Ireland. Tonight on the Laughing Place Movie Club, we're going to be watching The Happiest Millionaire. And the lead character is from Ireland.
Are any of the people watching it from, of Irish descent? Or doing the discussion? Yeah. You have some Irish in you?
When do you think the Kissing the Blarney Stone is coming back? I feel like that must have got shut down for COVID, right?
See, that I don't understand. If you want to take your own chance kissing the stone, feel free. That's up to you. Anyway.
Mr. Bob Newell is drunk.
Michael Mack says it's the euro in Ireland. Really? They adopted the euro? Because England never did, and I thought that was all a part of one United Kingdom. Geo with the helpful €1 is 1.21 US dollars. I remember when it was the other way around, when the euro was worth more than the dollar.
Oh, the pound sterling.
It is right there. Okay. Okay, wait. Max says the euro, and Tammy says the pound.
Look at Danielle's.
Oh, the Republic or use the euro? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's two. It's really two countries.
Kind of like Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Rebecca's not watching because my Slack is empty.
Yeah. Or Germany, but now one piece.
Next up, and perhaps another sign that it's okay to get a little closer to each other, the Avengers Campus showtimes for the shows are now featured in the Disneyland app, which I think is wonderful if you want to see a show. If you don't want to see a show, you don't care. But if you do, it's nice to know when they're actually taking place. Because, Mike, you were there. Do people just kind of stand around looking in the air and waiting?
Well, on the first day, nobody really knew what was going on at all, ever. But yes, I was, we were trying to get video of all the shows, and it was just a matter of, let's wait in this spot. Oh, well, actually, I will say for the Avengers show with Black Widow and Black Panther, we happened to be like sitting underneath where that show happened, and they came and like cleared us out, and they were like, "Oh, the show's going to be starting. You can't sit here." So that like gave us a clue of when that was going to be happening.
I would just wait for the guy with the iPad to walk around going like this.
Yeah. Also, you got to look for the cast members and the tech guys and stuff. Yeah.
So I just got a Slack from Rebecca, which scared me to death, but it's unrelated to the show, so she's clearly not watching. So we're in the clear, guys. Just keep it to yourself. And those 4 shows are, for those that don't know, and Mike, since we have you here, and you did get to see all 4, right?
Yes.
All right, so we have Warriors of Wakanda, Doctor Strange, Mysteries of the Mystic Arts, The Amazing Spider-Man, and Avengers Assemble. Rank them, bottom to top.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Let's see. I think, honestly, I would say Doctor Strange is number 1.
As the best or the worst?
As the best.
Okay, so
as my favorite. As my favorite. I'm not going to say objectively it's the best, but you're like up close and personal with him. He shows off some decent magic tricks and stuff. Plus, there's a cameo by another Avenger in that show. And then second is probably Spider-Man because he got the Stunttronic, which is cool to see. And then third is probably the Avengers one with Black Panther and Black Widow that's up on top of Avengers HQ. And the last one's the Dora Milaje because it's kind of stuff that we've seen before, and they just do like a quick training exercise that you kind of have to do like a Simon Says kind of thing with them.
Doctor Strange first. Wow.
Yeah.
So the one that had like Black Widow climbing on the walls, is that just a part of which show is that?
It's called Avengers Assemble.
Okay. And that's separate from Spider-Man flying through the air?
Yes. On 2 different buildings in the land.
Wait, is it actually called Spider-Man Flying Through the Air?
Yes.
That'd be a great title. I would prefer that than Spider-Man on the boxes.
Let's see. Republic of Ireland uses the euro. That is, I think we've clarified that. Do we think it will be easier to get into Avengers Campus starting tomorrow? This is a no from you, Jeremiah?
Well, the capacity is not changed as far as we know because it haven't opened up. But I have friends that are out there that they've been telling me how difficult the best way to get into the land is to secure a ride time for web slingers so you don't have to wait in a long line.
And you don't think that they're going to increase capacity in the land tomorrow?
I don't think so. I think that, especially because it's such a small area. I mean, I know looking at the pictures, it seemed very busy when Mike was there, and then the other days. So I don't know. I don't think that they're going to bump up a lot of capacity, but I don't think that tomorrow is going to be. I don't think we'll see any big difference until probably maybe around the anniversary, that kind of stuff.
since you have contacts in this sphere, Jeremiah, what's it been like trying to get in the land these days?
It's been, lines. The line hasn't been as bad as what Mike saw, where it was, you had to get on the fun wheel to actually get in line first. But it has been longer lines.
And Mac says, without the need for distancing, why would they limit the people? If you recall, they did that for Galaxy's Edge as well, and there was no such thing as social distancing way back in, 2019, if you can remember that far back. So you still want guests to have a good time. There's, Harry Potterville did it over at Florida for quite a while. So come on, Mac.
Get with it, Mac.
Just kidding, Mac. You're wonderful. You're like one of my 4 favorite East Coast contributors.
He's got to come on this show next week to talk about his Avengers Campus and Disneyland experience.
That is for sure, and I'm hoping he's doing a stream there too, where he can show off some of the incredible Easter eggs. He really should do a video, like just a produced video with that, because I don't know anyone more qualified to do that, given his vast Marvel knowledge. Come on, screen. Speaking of Marvel knowledge, Loki has changed. So has he changed, or does he appear both ways? How's this work?
He's only appearing that currently. And this is spoilers for anybody who hasn't watched the first episode of Loki that came out now 4 days ago. Get with it.
If you haven't watched it yet,
the trailer.
Yeah, I know. Somebody was like, "It's a spoiler." I was like, "It's not a spoiler if you've seen anything that he has that." No, and they bring him out as the prisoner, and it actually looks like a really cool photo spot. But if you want Loki with the horns and everything, I'm guessing you're going to have to wait until.
So, do you think this will continue as Loki has other appearances through the season?
I have a theory about that.
Let's hear your theory.
I have seen the second episode of Loki, and I think they're going to find a way to change him up every week based on what happens in the show.
Nice.
So next week he'll come out in the suit with the horns.
Mm-mm.
We have not seen the second episode. We do not want to be spoiled, but
Right.
that's interesting. That is very interesting. Mac says Mac is channeling his inner Tony Betty here with the cynicism. So just want to, Tony, I haven't seen Tony around lately, so nice to see someone taking his place. Let's see, what else do we got here? Disneyland Paris. Speaking of June 15th, I feel like a lot is happening on June 15th, including the opening of Disneyland Paris, which is ultra exciting. How long has it been closed? I should have looked that up. Anybody know?
Off and on over the past year, but it opened for, I want to say it was before the new year. So
yeah, because
at least 6 months fully.
They were talking about, we'll be ready to open it in the next year, and then it kept getting pushed back. So finally here, June 15th, it's coming back. Le cast membres sont prêts à faire vivre le magie. So that's very exciting.
But better than I would have done with it.
I can do a little French. I can pronounce it decently, but I don't know what it means.
And they put out the new commercial and some of the updates for Cars Road Trip that I still don't understand.
Did you see the new one with the duck wearing a little tiny mask?
No.
You don't remember the Disneyland Paris duck commercial?
I know that.
The adorable duck, and then the mask part's a joke.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the duck has a mask. I got you. Yeah.
Sorry, I quacked myself up.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to say that. I maybe to it.
So multiple people, I don't have the picture here, but multiple people have sent me the picture of their new Catastrophe Canyon showing that semi-truck in peril. That is silly, right?
They haven't shown any of the footage of the truck sliding down like it used to. So it may just be like, hey, I pulled in here to get a car wash. And then the flood happens and the fire and the screaming and the yelling and the running.
I hope he yells, no, please, I have a soul. The truck.
But then you pull into the later part where he's harvesting all the body parts, and he's like, who wants to buy a new fender?
Is anyone else planning on seeing Fast and the Furious 9 just for the Jurassic Park Dominion trailer?
Yes. I'm upset that I don't have an IMAX near me so I can go see the 5-minute version. But
Yeah, I do. And what happened to the one at Regal over by Point Orlando?
I don't go out to that one. I would go to the one at City Walk before I'd go to that one. It's gone downhill. I actually like the Fast and the Furious films, not the attraction, but the films because they're, I like wrestling, so this is just wrestling in cars.
I've never seen a Fast and the Furious, and I'm okay with that. How about you, Mike? Are you a big F&F fan?
I have seen 2 of the. How many are there? 8 total before this
Yes.
one.
Well,
So
9 counting the spin-off.
Oh, Hobbs and Shaw. I've
Yeah.
only seen 2 total. I've seen the first one and number 5. And my wife is a big fan. She loves them. She goes with her friends to see the new ones when they come out. I stay at home.
You know what that makes you? I'm waiting for Fast. That's pretty funny. Does Disney Park, does Disneyland Paris have a Epcot-like World Showcase?
No. It is 2 parks. It is the Magic Kingdom type park and then the Studios type park. They took a lot of for Walt Disney Studios Paris, they really just took the tram tour, took Rock and Roller Coaster. Sadly, the best attraction closed before I got a chance to see it.
See, I just now got this joke, so let me do it. Fasten your seatbelt.
I guess we got to talk while
Yeah,
Dewey's on the
because
phone.
yeah, I'm excited to go back to Disneyland Paris. I can't wait.
I'm back
to see the new stuff and to see the poor tanker truck in Peril. In Peril?
The Temple of Peril?
Dun, 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 dun.
Do you have to speak French to go there to Disneyland Paris?
No, because I've been there.
By the way, we should have coverage from Disneyland Paris. We do have a correspondent who's going to be out there, and hopefully we will get some decent coverage of that. It's the first time using them, so hopefully all the communication has been taken care of properly, and it will happen. Don't get jealous, Jeremiah. You're not allowed to go.
I'm excited to go, but I'm fine waiting for a little while. Also, Mr. Bob Newell, I'm Team AEW also, even though I love WWE.
All Elite Wrestling.
The better of the two. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yes, the storylines, because they don't just build each week to one pay-per-view. And here we go back to the Lear and the Euro conversation. AEW focuses better on storylines where WWE is like, ah!
Edith will be doing some helping us out there, Mac. You are correct. The one and only, traveling all the way from, I don't know exactly where she's traveling from because I always just joke that she's from down under, but she's not really. All right.
Oh, Edith is doing that for us? That's nice.
Yeah. She's going anyway. So I'm like, hey, what helps out? All right. So getting away from Disney a little bit, because honestly, the biggest theme park news that has happened in the past couple of weeks is this thing.
Yes.
And that is the opening of Velocicoaster at Universal Studios Orlando. Wow, that looks fun. Jeremiah, is it fun?
Yes. I've seen a lot of people say, and I want Matt to chime in on this also. A lot of people are saying it's one of the best coasters in the world. I really enjoy it. It's a really fun coaster, but best coaster that I've ridden in my trips, I don't know if it's the top, but it has some great thrills to it.
One of, not necessarily the. Did you go there on opening day, Jeremiah?
I did not, because that was the day I returned back from Seattle, and by the time that I would have gotten there, they were at capacity.
So no churro for you, no free churro.
No.
They were giving out free churros to the guests on opening day, which I thought was pretty cool. Mac, let us know what you thought of it in the comments, please. I would say come on the air, but you're never available, so I'm not even going to bother asking this time. So the coolest thing I saw about this, and it was that launch right there that they just showed, I believe, where it didn't quite make it up the hill they call the top hat.
Mm-hmm.
So it came all the way back down, but they didn't have to reset it or anything. Then they just launched it again.
No, it makes it all.
I saw the video, Jeremiah. I'm not joking with this one.
What video?
Someone got a video of it launching out of that launch that you can see while you're walking through Jurassic Park. It launched, it went way up, but it didn't make it all the way to the top.
With passengers on it?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of launch coasters, they valley. They don't make it all the time. Screaming happens all the time. It happens where it doesn't make it to the top.
Really? I've never seen that happen with Screaming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Screaming used to valley out very bad.
And what it did is it came back down. It went back, slightly up the hill back behind it, and then it went back to the launch, and it launched again.
I would have been terrified if I were on that thing.
All right. So I saw the video. That doesn't mean someone wasn't making a fun video, but I saw this with my eyes. If someone can correct me, I don't want to put wrong info out there. Mike,
Nope.
Mac, thank you so much.
Yep.
I've also seen this video.
That is scary. As somebody who worked for Universal for many years, that is even scarier.
I mean, the fact that it doesn't make it up, that happens. That's no big deal. But that they don't then use that to stop the ride.
No.
It
is a big deal. It is a very big deal. The entire purpose of that launch is to get you over that. It's like going to Knott's Berry Farm and going to their launch one and going,
So I don't know. Have something to do with like weight variations of the guests, or
probably does. That was the problem with Screaming for the longest time.
Was it? Oh, I just figured sometimes the electric didn't quite all pop. Like, because there's a bunch of motors. Like, if one doesn't pop. All right, I want to try to find this now. Mac, you're out there. Mac, if you can find that video on Twitter, so I saw it on Twitter, so I can show it. I would be so happy. So Max says, of course, he's too busy creating content for some website. This is content for that website.
But he says, yes, it's the best Universal, and it is absolutely the best Universal coaster. And I think I'd put it up against my favorite out at Busch as a really good one, but it's different because this is more of a Giga coaster that, yeah.
Which coaster at Busch?
Kumba.
I've heard that one's good.
Yeah.
Oh, Max says he's seen it happen with Giga at Six Flags Adventures, which is much taller and faster. So, including the relaunch, Mac, the valley happens, but the automatic relaunch, that's the surprising.
Okay, here's my level of fear. Universal it happening? Okay, good. Six Flags, I'm never going on that coaster.
Mike Celestino, what is your favorite coaster?
Celestino.
Oh gosh. So I'm removing all like theming from the conversation, right? It's basically just
no, that counts. Okay. That counts.
Well, okay, then I prefer some of the heavily themed stuff. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I mean, it's not an intense roller coaster by any means, but I just love the layout and the design of it.
Oh, it's good.
The best coaster I've ever been on is Steel Colossus at Magic Mountain. They turned an amazing wooden coaster into an amazing steel coaster.
Colossus is not wooden anymore?
The skeleton is, but then they put steel tracks and it's no longer racing. Well, it races at one point, but it actually has loops, has high five moments. Like
I haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, it's impressive, and that's why I'm looking forward to eyeing Gwazi out at Busch Gardens.
Bob Newell says the Wild Mouse on 79th Street in Miami, which I believe is in everyone's top 10, if I'm not mistaken. Geo, Barnstormer, Brainstormer, Peaceful World. I have a feeling both you guys are just fun. All right, so Mike, if we want to keep it to thrill as opposed to theming, then where do you go?
Well, some of the ones at Six Flags here are really good. And then I've been to Great Adventure growing up a whole bunch, and there were some there that were really great. I don't remember the names of them. But I don't know if I... come back to me.
Did you go on the Indiana Jones coaster at Disneyland Paris, Mike?
So I've been there twice, and both times I was there, it was under refurb.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, it's not a great coaster, but it is fun. It is pretty much just a Wild Mouse with a loop in it, but the theming of it makes up for the badness of it.
Well, I would like to eventually, hopefully.
That'll be our next summit out to Disneyland Paris.
I'm in. All right, guys, here we go. Watch your screens. This is from the Twitter account of Thrill Geek, thrillgeek.com. In this video, it's already missed the launch and it's going backwards.
Okay, this is much different than what.
No, it didn't have the beginning where it didn't make it up. That was it coming back down.
Did the people look scared to you?
I was a little excited. See, that guy's even waving.
Yeah, I mean, it's real, but I would think that they would have stopped at the launch and not rolled back out of the launch. I mean, I'll ask the person who filmed it because I know him, but.
Oh, well, that helps. Yeah, it's like they saw it coming back down. They pulled out their camera, and it didn't break in the launch. It just... Does it stop in the launch when you ride it, for real? Does it stop there before launching again?
No, it keeps going, but that is, I mean...
So that's what they had to do here. They got it. They got a little Joe Minham, and then boom.
Did you say Joe Mentum?
I did. I've been saying that ever since Joe Lieberman ran for president. It comes out automatically.
What year was that?
A long, long time ago.
Hold on. That's more important than the Euro conversation.
I'm sorry. It's like a habit. It's a bad habit at this point. But I say it every single time. Joe Minham. Is Space Mountain in your top 5, either of you? All things considered?
I like
California.
Space Mountain.
Yeah.
California's? Is California's better than Florida's?
Yeah.
I like it more.
Why? I mean, I like them both, but why is California so clearly better?
Because it came after. The Space Mountain here was designed... So Matterhorn was the first steel tubular roller coaster. And then the next one for Disney was Space Mountain in Magic Kingdom. So it has the 2 separate tracks and the tight turns, and it hurts. And then when they built the California one, it was the single track, double seat. So if it wasn't for the sled seating, I think it wouldn't hurt as badly. But I have bruises at times from that coaster.
Cool. Justin says his California Screamin' was the first looping coaster he ever did. I'm trying to think what was my first looping coaster. Probably Revolution.
Yep. I think that was mine also. The Great American Revolution.
Does Viper loop?
No.
Okay.
Yes, Viper does. Ninja doesn't. Sorry.
Okay, so then I think either Viper or Boomerang would have been my second, and then I finally got to Disney with Rock and Roller Coaster and stuff.
I think my first one may have been Montezuma's Revenge.
That one terrifies me. I've never gotten on it.
I used to run around on a slow day at Knott's and did that probably 20 times in a row when I was a kid.
If I can handle Boomerang, no problem. Can I handle Montezuma's Revenge?
Oh, absolutely.
The size of that loop intimidates me, but it doesn't need to?
No, not at all.
Okay. What was your first looping coaster, Mike?
Definitely something at Six Flags Great Adventure in nearby Vernon, New Jersey. I do not remember the name of any of the coasters there. I'm looking up the list. List of roller coasters.
And now I do Screamin' and Rock and Roller Coaster. I'm not sure I will do any other looping coasters. Maybe Montezuma's Revenge, now that Jeremiah has made me feel better. But, I'm old. And we were talking about Knott's Berry Farm. Knott's Berry Farm has introduced a self-guided experience where you can, on their app, go through and get information on their 100th anniversary. It's called Moments in Time.
Weren't they doing this when you were there, Mike? Didn't they have the QR codes up for this the first day of opening? Where you can walk up and scan? I remember seeing pictures of informational things.
They may have. If they did, I wasn't aware of it.
But the main reason I look at this is, do you think this would be a good idea for Disney? To kind of let you take kind of your own little tour of, it could be a history tour, it could be an Imagineering tour, they could do all kinds of different ones.
I would love that. That would be something fun, especially they could take like the Imagineering stuff and the theme park stuff, rocking around the theme parks, rocking around the Disney parks that's coming up, and just edit and just scan on right there.
Yeah, I agree. And I know some people like Lou Mangello has done walking tours of the park himself. And I think Disney getting into that, that would be fun. There's a lot of opportunity there, I think. Mr. Bob Newell says, high roller at Strat Las Vegas. That is way up in the sky, right? The stratosphere?
Yeah. I don't even think it's there anymore.
No.
Yeah, I did that one.
Max was Batman at Six Flags Great Adventure, which is somehow the same park Mike is talking about.
So, did you ever go on Shockwave at Six Flags at Magic Mountain? That was the first standing coaster.
No.
That as a child was one of the scariest things, especially because you used to be able to bounce on it, and if they locked it when you're up, especially as a kid who was 13 and my feet are dangling as I'm floating in the air, and that had a loop, so
I've never been on anything but a normal coaster except for Ninja, which is just suspended. Yeah. But never lying down, never lying on my back, never. Dude, the one at Busch where you get to the top and tilt and just look straight down at the ground. What kind of insanity is that?
That's one. No, Insanity is a different coaster.
I can tell you the most scared I've ever been boarding a roller coaster, and that was Tatsu at Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Broke my phone on that.
You broke your phone? Is that what you said?
Go finish your story. Then I'll tell mine.
I just remember this is probably 15 years ago when that opened, and we went that summer, and at the loading station, just looking at how you lay down flat like you're flying like Superman, basically, with only the chest support, basically. I was just so terrified to get on that thing.
Yeah, I went on it and had the phone in my pocket, and we were sitting at the unload for so long. When I got off, it just cracked screen. I mean, it was barely a flip phone at that point. Actually, one of the scariest coasters that I've ever been on is X at Magic Mountain. That one valleyed out also.
Yeah, I remember that one too.
But what is X doing? I'm looking at a picture right now, and it just looks bizarre.
Out, and the seats free float as you go through the coaster. So while you're going through loop, you're looping. And they've done different versions because originally I think it could be somewhat controlled, and then they just went, no, we're going to do whatever we want.
I feel like at some point it just becomes so discombobulating that you just can't even tell what's going on. And
they had flames at one point on there.
I think Mac likes the one where you just stare straight at the ground. What's that one called? Like Cheetah? Shikra. Oh, so close. Yeah. Cheetah
Hunt's the people mover type coaster that just runs all the way down and back.
Bob Newell always has some fun comments. His ex puked on him on a spinning carnival ride. That would be why it's his ex, I believe. And first his flip spin can. Yeah, see, it just doesn't. It doesn't look that much fun to me. But I'm a wimp, so what do I know? And then something that truly scares Mike Celestino, excuse me, is they have introduced new beignets at Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen.
I want to go just for that right now. Like I saw that as one of our topics, and I'm like, wait, where is this? And I saw Ralph Brennan's like, oh man.
So this is I don't
have two for me.
This is Downtown Disney in California. So unfortunately, you cannot get them, Jeremiah, but Pebble Crunch glazed beignets. I've never had a Jazz Kitchen beignet. I think it is finally time. Because Fruity Pebbles make a much better topping for yummies than an actual cereal where it just turns into soggy mess. Don't you guys think?
No. I love Fruity Pebbles. But the Fruity Pebbles donut that they had at Everglades, that was probably one of my favorites. Yes, he is taking up the cello, Mac.
Mac would like you to know he may be grabbing one of those tomorrow night as he arrives in California. Now, I pronounced it Celestino at the start of the show, and you said that is actually the accurate Italian pronunciation, right, Mike?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, and that's what got us on the whole lira thing and euro, and here we are. And one other quick thing. So Magic Bands are no longer given to annual pass holders in Florida. They probably have got the app now, so they aren't as important as they used to be, but they still are doing the Magic Keepers. So if you want to have your little circle thing that actually does the business. You can carry it using one of these. So they've come up with some new ones. Have you seen these, Jeremiah?
Yeah, these were the first ones I saw. They have the castle, and then if you scroll down, the next one is the Minnie Mouse. And then I believe it was just today or yesterday I saw some more, and they have a really nice key one and a few other designs. But the nice thing about these is where the original Magic Keepers, you had to unscrew and take out the puck out of your magic band and then screw it in there. And really, I've never been more frustrated than trying to get my little Magic Keeper. These actually come with the pucks already in.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So pucks included.
Okay.
They give you a puck.
It took me a little bit, but I figured it out. I remembered which roller coaster at Great Adventure was my favorite, and it was this one. It's called Nitro.
Nitro.
Is that a backwards launch, or is that a...
Which Great Adventure is that? New Jersey?
Yeah, Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey. It says tallest coaster on the East Coast, 215-foot drop, 540-degree helix spiral, speed of 80 miles an hour.
That is a huge coaster.
I remember really enjoying that one and going on it many times.
Let's get a look at it.
I want to go up to Cedar Point
Terrifying.
and do those. Like, Cedar Point is my mecca now.
Nitro was his favorite until he rode Mako at SeaWorld here. Mako's one of the newer ones, right?
Yeah, it's the one that just opened 3 or 4 years ago.
After Manta.
Yeah. Manta is the flying like Tatsu, and Mako is just a beautiful Giga coaster that takes you out, takes you right by iDrive, and takes you over to Universal for a little bit, drops you off.
So I know the difference between a megabyte and a gigabyte. What's the difference between a mega coaster and a giga coaster?
It's just when they're built and their speed. And
Are they going to have a Pico coaster eventually? No, a Peta coaster. Sorry, not Pico. Peta coaster.
No, that's Secret Life of Pets at Universal Hollywood.
Speaking of Universal Hollywood, you both have had trips to Universal last week, right?
Yes.
Yeah, mine was kind of a bust.
Why?
Mine was no Waterworld for me.
Well, I went there specifically to see Waterworld and get a video of it. And I got there at like 11 something. We had to do we didn't have to do. We chose to do a live stream. So I prepared for that, and I was like, okay, I can do either the 3:45 or the 5:15 Waterworld. And after the live stream, I went and got in line. I was like one of the first people in line. They didn't give me a great seat despite being there very early.
Oh, that's sad.
No, you go all the way to the end.
They put me all the way on the left side. Yeah. But sitting there, it took about a half an hour to get from waiting in the line to where I was seated. Sitting there for 5-10 minutes, and then an announcement came over the loudspeakers that there was technical issues and the show was canceled. They dumped the entire audience out, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I can get the next show, but that got canceled as well.
Oh, bummer. Did you do anything else while you were there that day?
I went on Secret Life of Pets and the live stream walking around, but that was it.
No tram tour? By the way,
Nope.
we have an answer. The Giga coaster is 1,000 times larger than the Mega coaster. Thank you very much.
That's a big coaster.
It is. Jeremiah, how was Universal Florida for you?
It was very nice. Busy. That was my first time in the park without the mask rule, so it was nice to walk into the stores where I didn't have to put on a mask, take off the mask. We walked in and actually did a tour of the Jurassic World store. We found out that we can get the service in there, so we walked through all of that.
Great.
Strolled around, made fun of Jimmy Fallon and Fast and Furious a little bit. Gideon was actually helping us out a lot on that live stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was talking. And then tomorrow I'll be at Disney's Hollywood Studios with you, Doobie.
This is the first I'm hearing of it, but I suspect I probably am available.
Okay.
I know I have a 4 o'clock thing with Mike, and I got to make sure I prep for that. Other good news on the East Coast: SeaWorld's Electric Ocean has returned on Monday. Have you seen it yet, Jeremiah?
I have not. when we were there for the media event, that's when the Halloween stuff all kicked
Yes.
in. But that is something I went last year, enjoyed it a lot. I'm looking forward to. I know your next stop was going to be Busch Gardens. Busch Gardens is actually starting doing their fireworks every night of the week. Now they're the first ones to do that full time, and I will be out there Monday the 21st to cover all of that stuff and hopefully see this amazing.
So fireworks are back at Busch Gardens. Fireworks are back at SeaWorld. Universal has been doing its nighttime show already, haven't they?
Yeah, but theirs is a smattering of fireworks for their.
So
but
I feel like one of the East Coast theme parks is yet to go down that road. Hopefully soon we will see some fireworks at Walt Disney World, and especially see the debut of Harmonious at Epcot, because we are all eagerly awaiting the new nighttime spectacular at the Experiment.
Yes, that's something I know that I talked to one of my friends who works out there, and he said that he was working late the other night, and they were testing it, and they shut down all the lights in the park except in the lagoon, and he said it was just amazing looking.
Wow. Oh, that's exciting.
He didn't tell me anything else other than that, but he said it was amazing.
You need better friends, man. Cool. Anything else we should mention, Mike?
I'll be at SeaWorld San Diego on Thursday, which they're also doing the Electric Ocean summertime event, so I'll check out all that stuff.
Wait, are you going for an event?
No, it's just, what do you call it, the seasonal...
I was like, if you're going for the media event and it's about 1 o'clock, it's not going to be about Electric Ocean.
No, there's no media event. It's just a regular day at the park.
This is a great idea. When are we going to live stream from Kennedy Space Center?
Didn't we do that once?
I don't think so. If we did, I wasn't a part of it.
It is something that I want to do. It's just with Kennedy. Oh no, we did once. I don't know if you were part of it or it was Benji, but the reception out there was horrible.
Oh really?
And the thing about Kennedy is there's one section that is dedicated to the rockets, and then everything else is indoors. So the indoor stuff usually is, because it's Kennedy and it's on the spaceport, it's a little lightning heavy, so they're built a little stronger than everything else. But next time that will be something that we do.
I know we got a press release last week that they have also increased their getting closer back to normal. Still not normal, but getting closer.
Yeah, they added back the bus tour out to the moon rocket and everything out there, which is one of my favorite things.
The moon rock?
No, the entire area out there where they have the little moon rock where you can stick your finger in and up and you can touch it a little bit.
Speaking of, I heard that you are a proficient moonwalker. Did I hear wrong? You want to show us?
I will show you during a live stream tomorrow.
Okay, now we're talking. Is there going to be someone there to hold the camera? Because we got to see the feet, or it's just pretend.
I don't know where that came from, and
okay, I'm going to put it. Lee, if you're watching, make sure you put that on the stream. Jeremiah does a moonwalk. Maybe right there where they used to have the Armageddon vehicle. That'd be kind of cool. Work it in there. Anyway, or on bed too. Anything you want to mention, Jeremiah, before we close out here?
No, we did just put up an update for Tron Light Cycle /Run, including pictures from the Treehouse, Doobie. I went up there with my good camera.
Did you really? Did we just put that up?
Just went up.
Oh man. Okay. Well, we should talk about your trip to the Magic Kingdom today then.
I literally went in there to take pictures of that and was drenched because the storms have returned to Florida. That's why we actually had to start a little late, because I was in one of those storms that you can't see while you're driving. But there's not much social distancing markers left out there. Most of the park was down because of the thunder and lightning. So that is from the Treehouse.
Way to go, Jeremiah. Oh, man.
That's the walkway. That is from the treehouse, and you can see they've reopened some of the portal around the track. So the construction that we always heard is not going to happen is still going on.
Yeah, it's happening. Yeah. And it rained.
And they've also added in some new supports. I think it's the next one. Has these interesting supports. I need to go back and look at my photos and stuff from Shanghai to see what those are. But yeah, it's good to see that's moving forward. I mean, I'm guessing we're still going to have to wait until 22 at this point.
Just went up. Probably why Matt couldn't come on.
Yep, I saw it pop up, and I was like, "Yeah, look, it's done. Good job, Mac. Thank you, sir."
And opening summer 2027, is that accurate?
Give or take about 5 years.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not that late. You also noticed there were some changes in the TTC. I saw you tweet.
Oh yes. So this is something that is really just uber nerdy. In the TTC, they used to have yellow fencing that had characters on it, and I think it was back when it was more to direct people. And now that security is in front of it, they've removed all of the fencing, so it's all just wide open now, like it used to be. It was one of those things I'm walking through, and I start looking around going, there's something missing, and they paved in the holes and everything.
I have a friend that works that very spot. I wonder how that's affected their job. I would like to find out. And what they've been told as to the reasoning for it. Anyway, that it?
That it.
Wow. It's been weird without my wife. I don't like it.
Thank
you, guys.
7 minutes talking about Euros.
We could have gone down that road further. We didn't even get to like Asia or Australia, Africa. You know, we stayed in Europe where it's the euro, and that's just kind of easy.
Tammy is still here somewhere. She could tell us about Australia.
I know in Australia they use the dollary-do.
We should have ended 30 seconds ago.
I like Canada. Canada has the toonie. That's just like the
loony and
yeah, they have the funnest currency names up there. Ours are kind of boring. We need a queen just so we can put her on our currency.
There are many jokes I could.
Yeah, I appreciate you not going down that road. Mike wins. He always wins. Is there no one?
It's a joke from The Simpsons. I didn't make it up.
Aw. You didn't have to admit that.
Matt Cronin wins.
Okay, well, thanks everybody for tuning in today. As they said, I don't care. I do care. Let me look. It's been a long time since I've hosted a show. I miss my wife.
Tonight at 10:30, 7:30 Pacific, we are doing Laughing Place Movie Club, where our focus is The Happiest Millionaire, and that'll be Alex and I talking about one of my all-time favorite films. So if you've never seen it, it's a good time to tune in and learn about it, and then you can see it on Disney Plus.
So good, it puts Jeremiah to sleep every time he watches it. And also tomorrow at 11 o'clock Pacific, Jeremiah, are you indeed at Epcot?
No, I am indeed at Disney's Hollywood Studios. That was
Hollywood Studios
time because we found out there's been some changes in the park.
All right.
The world is getting back to normal, and we'll talk about it more tomorrow.
All right, and other stuff that's happening, including, of course, tomorrow's edition of Disney Trivia Live, our second edition without my wife in the room. Anything can happen. Last Saturday, my mom came on the air and did a Q&A in the chat, which was a lot of fun. If anyone was able to catch that, it was actually a lot of fun. So who knows what's going to happen tomorrow. 7:30 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring the little dingy so you know when we go live, which we do all the time. Thank you, Mike Celestino, coming to us live via satellite from Italy. Thank you, Jeremiah Goot, coming to us live via satellite from that place. And thank you, Doobie. See you guys later.